Welcome all you fanatics of the campus gridiron. Thank you for gabbing with us for the TDs on and off campus and the extra points during the recruiting wars. Let's start gabbing. Welcome back, all you campus fanatics out there. Glad you could join us as we cap off the first week of the college football season of Gridiron Gab Triple Option. I am, of course, Mr. CeeLo, here to talk all things about the happenings on the campus gridiron. But I want to open up by giving a shout out to two of our local defensive end / linebackers, Steve Linton, who plays for the Texas Tech Red Raiders, whom in a 35-33 defeat in Laramie against Wyoming had a pretty good game. He's number 7, just in case you guys didn't know. He had 5 total tackles, 4 solos, 1 assisted, and had a fumble recovery in that game. So definitely want to give a shout out to you, my friend. Young man, keep doing what you do. And we also want to give a shout out to someone very, very special to me. A young man who has earned Conference USA Player of the Week. And a player who is very special to me, who earned Conference USA Player of the Week award by having 6 solo tackles, a sack, basically a strip sack that went back for a touchdown. Now, if you guys want to check this footage out, go to my site at Gridiron Gab Triple Option. I will post that for you. I will have that posted for you guys if you want to check it out. But it's on my page, so you guys please go over there, Gridiron Gab Triple Option, as well as going to my Instagram page at Mr. CeeLo. You can check it out there. But his name is none other than Jaquez Donut Evans. And he is on a mission. He is one of the few returning players for that Western Kentucky Hilltopper defense. But very proud of you, Donut. Keep doing what you do, buddy. I'm proud of you. We love you here in the Dub. But we have some business to take care of. I have to take care of that laundry. You know what I'm saying? You guys are here. Talk about the campus gridiron that has happened this weekend, as we saw. We did see Texas Tech upset. The biggest upset of the week, and honestly, it's not that big an upset. If you guys watch my show, the very first one where I ranked the top 25 and put in who I thought was there, I thought TCU was not where it needed to be. And honestly, I don't think TCU needs to be ranked until they earn it. And right now, I think they need to be gone. And I don't think Deion Sanders needs to be in the top 25. I'm going to go ahead and kill that myth right now. They don't have anything in the trenches. And this is a good field story for week 1. But I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about Deion until Deion gives me enough to want to talk. There's a lot of people that want to talk about it. You have at it. I'm not talking about Deion until he makes himself until the Colorado Buffaloes do something. You know, beating TCU on opening week. Me and a couple of guys I talked to, week 1, anything can happen. Travis Hunter had a wonderful game, but this whole, notion that Shadir Sanders is on the level of Caleb Williams. Stop it. Stop it. Shannon Sharp, stop it. He's not on the same level as Caleb Williams. Stop it. But let's move forward. Number 1, Georgia won 48-7, but they were only up 17-0 in the end of the first half. So, and then from what my hearings is that they lost the defensive back, someone who's a returning starter, and they had to stick in a freshman. Oh, to Tennessee Martin, they ended up winning 48-7. They scored 31 in the second half and finished this game off, which is a cause for concern if you're a Dog fan. Michigan won 30-3, and I would say against East Carolina. And I would say, first game jitters. I would say Michigan did not look very good either. Ohio State 23-3 over Indiana. They did travel to Bloomington, but I am concerned that Ohio State only scored 23 against an Indiana team, unless Indiana's going to be that good. Same with Alabama and Middle Tennessee State. I will say that I was more impressed with Alabama's win than I was Ohio State, Michigan, or Georgia's in the top four, that is. Then we go to USC. USC again resoundingly putting a beat down on Nevada, 66-14. Impressive win. Penn State 38-15 over West Virginia. That win was kind of, because you look at it, 17 in the fourth quarter, so it was like 21-7 going into the fourth. And I'm not saying West Virginia's a scrub, but West Virginia's not West Virginia that we saw back in the mid 2000s and early mid 2010s and early 2010s. So I'm not going to put and say, I'm going to retract my statement a little bit, but I still thought Penn State was going to beat Ohio State, and I'm not sure if Penn State's going to be one of the top four, unless they change some things. Washington showing what they do, beating up on a Boise State team who is still always traditionally a good football team the last 20 years. 56-19, Penix had a great game. Still one of those Heisman guys. Texas 37-10 over Rice. This game is somewhat concerning to me as well because Texas only scored 16 in the first half, but they scored 21 in the third to pull away from Rice. So I'm a little concerned about Quinn Ewers, and I think this is going to be huge, because you guys know that we have in week 2 we have Alabama, Texas at Alabama, and this is going to be a legit test. This is going to be a huge matchup. I'll give you guys what I think about that game at the probably Wednesday. I'll go ahead and go through the slate of games on week 2, but we're just going to wrap up for the Clemson-Duke game as well. You got Tennessee, who had they really rolled up Virginia. This was an emotional game for Virginia, in the wake of that tragedy that took place. One of the players. Yeah, Virginia was playing with a heavy heart because of in the wake of the tragedy that took place this time last year. Running back Mike Hollins led them out, and he was one that survived the shooting. So it was an emotional day. But Tennessee got the win. We're glad you guys were able to come out and work hard. It's going to be a trying season for Virginia, but we're hoping they can get through it and make something positive out of it so they can be on the up and up and get this program back on track. But moving forward, we look at, we already know the story about the Florida-Utah game, and it was well documented. So then we go to Notre Dame, and we look at how Sam Hartman is continuously bringing his A game, and this, as we said, against Tennessee State, this was not a game. But if you guys want to go over and see me going more in depth about this game, please go over to Talk Like a Champion. And it's the latest show that I have released. But Notre Dame rolls Tennessee State. And then we move forward to number 15, Oregon, who puts away Portland State 81-7. It's important to know that Oregon had 50 points in the first half, which is pretty much synonymous with what Oregon does. They roll up teams that are less talented than they are. Their problem is they have trouble beating the teams that give them the trouble. A lot of teams will say, well, at least they get that done. Well, yes, that's true, but Oregon pretty much always does a good job of beating more inferior opponents. They don't play down to their competition. Kansas State 45, Southeast Missouri nothing. They were up 35-0 at the half. So Kansas State pretty much showing what I said. This team was going to be a very tough opponent. And then, as we said earlier, the Colorado TCU game, Like I said, I won't harp on that too much. There's been so much media that has been harping on it, and it's not warranted. Wisconsin 38-17 over Buffalo. Now, this game was interesting because Wisconsin is considered the team to handle that other side of the Big Ten, and they were only up 14-10. Buffalo gave them a fight until the fourth quarter. So, I'm looking at it from the aspect of Wisconsin either has some issues or Buffalo's that good of a football team to hold them to 38-17. So, I don't know. I was thinking it was going to be Wisconsin and possibly Michigan for the Big Ten title, but we don't know. Oklahoma ran up 73 on Arkansas State and blanked them. Okay, Brent Venables, I hear you, buddy. Because I said some things about this has got to be his year. He has got to put up, or they're going to be calling for him. And we also saw North Carolina beat South Carolina 31-17, which Spencer Rattler, you got to understand, partner, if you don't have an offensive line that can stop the blitz or control a pass rush, you have to use the next best thing you have, which is your mobility. You have to move. I think South Carolina's going to get better. I still think there's a lot of holes. Drake May, I'm not sold on. He made some NFL throws, but then he made some decisions that you just kind of... Ole Miss beat Mercer like they should, 73-7. That's an impressive win. Texas A&M, Jimbo Fisher needing a statement year. Starts out well with New Mexico, 52-10. Tulane, showing that they're a team that could possibly compete. They have a lot of guys coming back. They beat South Alabama 37-7. They were up 24-10 at the half, so impressive. Iowa, and you guys know how I feel if you watch the show. I was not sold on Iowa being in the top 25. That's enough. 24-14. There's a few teams that I felt like were going to make a swing, and they've had tough schedules to start with. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot about the big one. Florida State 45, LSU 24. I don't count the 24 because it was a junk touchdown. And a lot of people are going to say, well, what do you count? Well, the SEC is known for having no points, and they'll be down 45-0 and kick a field goal with 2 minutes left in the game just so they don't get a shutout. Okay. Florida State played great. Jordan Travis looked good, but I want to focus on a guy whom is probably going to go up the list of individuals who will be in the first round. I'm going to go and check this guy out, guys. I'm sorry, I did not do enough homework on him. I don't even know if this guy is in the list of individuals to go into the NFL draft, or if he was considered a guy that was on the big board. But he's 6'4", 215, and I'm referring to Keon Coleman. This gentleman had 9 catches, 122 yards, 3. A hat trick, guys. 3 scores. And I'm pretty sure Florida State's not too happy because this guy is from their backyard. Opelousas, Louisiana. And Jordan Travis did it. He did it. He absolutely torched the LSU Tigers. And that's not fun. Travis threw for 342 yards and 4 scores. Very impressive. And looking here, Keon Coleman had a long reception of 41. You got Jaheim Bell had a 44-yarder, and Lawrence Toafili had a 41-yarder. So they had chunk plays. And I would say I was more impressed with the way, and I'm not even going to get into Brian Kelly's rant about we're gonna beat LSU, we're gonna beat Florida State. People are making a notion of it. I don't do statements like that. That's just like this whole thing with Dion. That's why I'm not talking about it, because I don't believe Dion is going to have another big win like that. We can sit here and talk about, oh, he had 86 new players. Well, a lot of that's his fault. He put a lot of guys out. They didn't want to deal with his mentality, and I would even venture to say that some of it he ran out. So you make your bed hard, you lay hard. And at the end of the day, I truly believe, I'm happy for Dion, he got this win, but then you have to not make bulletin board material, and he has. So everybody's going to be gunning for him. Now teams have film on you. But as I said, I'm going to stay away from that. And Brian Kelly did that. That is the reference that I'm having. Brian Kelly made bulletin board material, and people are going to look at 45-24. No, this was 45-17. Yeah, this was a massive beatdown. I mean, you're talking about a team that outscored. Even if we give them, they give them the touchdown. They outscored LSU 31-7 in the second half. Wow. But, I would suspect that the way ESPN is and the coaches post, they'll only slide them down a little bit. I was not sold on LSU in a lot of ways, and I'm not saying that Florida State's that much better, and I'm not saying, I think LSU is just not that much, they're not that much better. They got hot last year, but they lost quite a few players. And as usual, they rank SEC teams much higher than they need to be. It is what it is. Oregon State beating a team that I thought, but Oregon State beating a team that played very well against USC considering the score in San Jose State, but they ended up winning the game 42-17. It was 21-3 at the half, and San Jose State came out and scored 14 points in the fourth quarter. I guess you could call it junk time. But San Jose was a team I thought would be top 25. They played decent. I was more impressed with the first halves of the USC game than I was this one. Oregon State with DJ Uiagalelei was pretty good. And I don't know, he looks more comfortable in against as a Oregon State Beaver than he's did the last two seasons at the Clemson Tiger. I don't know if it's the system, but look at this. Uiagalelei had 6 carries for 10 yards and 2 touchdowns. This is going to be a loaded Pac-12. I mean, it's nothing. No other way to put this. But he just looks more comfortable, and I think Oregon State's going to be a good football team. They did handle a San Jose State who's bringing back 10 starters on the offense and 9 on the defense. So San Jose State's probably going to end up where they were last year, 11-2. But I was expecting a little bit more. But hey, maybe some recruiting will come in here, and they can possibly, make a move and a statement. But that's a look through the top 25. But we also are waiting on the Clemson and Duke game, which is due to set shortly here. But I want to ask you guys, which game did you guys enjoy the most as we get ready to close out of here? As far as the rankings go, which team did you? Well, as I said, I'm going to put a poll of which team did you guys enjoy watching the most, and which teams do you think should drop? Me personally, I think Georgia and Michigan should stay put. Ohio State needs to drop. Alabama should go up. LSU definitely drops. USC goes up. Penn State should definitely stay put. Florida State should go up. Clemson should stay put. Washington should go up. Texas should stay put. Tennessee should go up. Notre Dame should go up. Utah should go up. Oregon should go up. Kansas State should go up. TCU definitely drops out. Oregon State goes up. Wisconsin stays put. Oklahoma goes up. I would say North Carolina stays put. Ole Miss should jump up just a little bit. Texas A&M jumps up a little bit. Tulane jumps up a little bit. Iowa stay put. I totally forgot about that. University of Texas San Antonio pulled out an upset over Baylor, guys. And remember, you guys, I said something about that. The University of Texas San Antonio Roadrunners. This was a team that should have been they're bringing back, I think they're bringing back 21 players. 21 or 20. They're going to be exciting to watch. And needless to say, I think, guys, there's going to be some exciting matchups coming up, and we'll go through those in a couple of days. But as of right now, guys, like I said, I'm going to have a poll up. Which team did you guys enjoy watching the most this weekend? And I'm going to put one up saying which team should definitely fall in the poll. Are there any teams that you saw this weekend that should move out of the top 25? And let me know about that, guys. I will have the poll up. And definitely comment, guys. I love the comments. I love when you guys are proactive and really want to speak, because we're getting to the point where we're going to go live on Facebook and possibly go live on Instagram and talk about it. And you guys can give your input. And if you guys are open enough, we'll be able to have some of you guys on the show. But guys, keep checking out those gridiron fights until we meet again. Same Gap channel, same Gap platform.